Hi friends, Princess Giggle Bottom here with the next episode of Tiara Tuesday. Bing! Where you don't have to be royal, but you gotta be real. So I'm super excited to follow up today about my Vegas trip. So last week I sent a quick video letting you all know that I was headed there. So this week I wanted to follow up and let you know that Princess Giggle Bottom remained unscathed and survived Sin City. Although this princess did get her Vegas on just a teeny bit, but we'll talk about that another time. So I wanted to talk about why I was in Vegas in the first place and kind of some of the different things that I experienced, because I think that these are some topics that we should discuss. So I was going through my emails several months ago, and I received an invitation to submit a presentation because there was a medical conference that was going to be held in Vegas and they were looking for speakers. So I kind of perused the topic list, and there was one particular topic about combining medical and mental health and the importance of doing that and how it could help minimize the stigma and reach more people, help more people, etc. So it really spoke to me, and I decided to put together a presentation. I came up with a curriculum, and it all just fell into place. It was very natural, very organic, and I took that as a good sign. Then the deadline started to approach to submit the presentations, and a little bit of imposter syndrome kicked in, and I started having those thoughts of, what if it isn't good enough? I'm probably not as smart as the other presenters. I don't know if I can still do this. What if I haven't been in front of people in years? What if my brain lets me down? What if my body lets me down? So I reached out to a friend who kind of helped ground me and said, what have you got to lose by submitting the presentation? So I thought, what, she's right. I could at least submit it, and then we'll just see what happens. So we all know how that turned out because I just got back from the conference. And so I think it's really important for us to talk about the different emotions that I went through. So I went from feeling very excited about the opportunity to then feeling this dread and just wave of negative, and my thoughts began to kind of ruminate and spin out of control. Things like, what if you get up there and forget the words? What if people, what if you get booed off stage? What if you, accidentally switch things around and say them in the wrong order? What if people don't laugh at your jokes? What if you trip and fall on your face while you're getting on stage? So all of those things are very real possibilities. And so my thoughts just began to spin and spin and spin and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So as I was thinking about canceling several times, which I did think about, something sort of came to me. And I thought about this whole process, right? For some reason, I saw the email. For some reason, this topic was presented that was just perfect for me. For some reason, the whole thing came together quite nicely. And for some reason, I was accepted. I was chosen. So if that is the path I was supposed to be on, all those things fell right into place. So if I wasn't supposed to be there and this wasn't supposed to happen, then why did that happen? Like, why did I get that far if I was going to be a failure? So then I started thinking, maybe I should look at this as a learning experience. Like, what does the world have to teach me from this experience? And once I did that and I started thinking about the things that I could learn, it took the pressure off of me as far as whether it would be a success or a failure. So it became more about my curiosity and leaning in. So what would the world have to teach me? Maybe it would show me that I need to be more careful when I walk because I trip and fall down. Maybe it would teach me how to tuck and roll so I didn't end up in the emergency room. Or maybe it would show me that I still got it. And, teaching in front of a crowd like that at a convention has been a dream of mine since I was, a baby nurse back in 1995. And it finally came true. And the only reason it did is because when I was faced with those feelings of discomfort and fear, I leaned in. And I have always thought that when you feel fear, that means that you should hit the brakes, push the abort button, run screaming out of the room with your hair on fire. It definitely doesn't mean that you should lean in, right? Who does that? But I want to tell you that that is exactly what I would encourage you to do, because being fearful, feeling fear in a new situation doesn't always mean that it's time to call it quits. Sometimes it means you're supposed to lean in and say, okay, why am I here? What is this situation trying to teach me? Especially if you're thinking about stepping outside of your comfort zone to try something new. And that something new could be, maybe you're going to turn right on the way home from work instead of left and just see where the road takes you, because you may be missing, a really fabulous garage sale, or maybe you wear colored socks instead of black socks because you want to spice it up a little. So it doesn't matter how big or small that thing is. If there's something that you're thinking in your deep inner self, your deep inner princess or prince, then I'm going to encourage you to embrace that and lean in and ask, what can I learn? Because if you approach it that way, you really do have nothing to lose, because as long as you're learning, you're becoming a better person. And I feel like that's kind of our goal in this world, is to learn from each other, to improve on who we are and share these experiences. So maybe your thing isn't speaking at a medical convention, but whatever it is, I just want to encourage you to embrace those feelings of, maybe fear or apprehension, and realize that it's normal. It's okay to not be okay with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to just give up and, run for the hills. So the self challenge for this week then is going to be for you guys to lean into something new. So like I said, I don't care if it's that you wear colored socks instead of black socks. I don't care if it's because, maybe you try going to a different grocery store. Maybe you pick the same grocery store, but you go in a different order. So just shake it up a little bit and try to feel that uncomfortable feeling and just sit with it and kind of coach yourself through it, and think of it more as a learning experience, not an opportunity to either fail or be successful. And I promise it's a lot less scary. So before I go, I have a couple of announcements to make. So I have officially started the Princess Giggle Bottom YouTube channel. This video is going to be posted, and so I'm going to ask you to please support me by liking the video, clicking the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the notifications so you don't miss anything new and exciting that I'm doing, because I want all of you to be part of this exciting journey as I grow and develop this channel. And I just want to say thank you so much for all of you that have supported me through this and given me the strength to embrace my inner princess. And I'm looking forward to reaching so many more people and helping people just realize that, you really should be yourself, because that's what you're best at. So remember, when in doubt, dance it out. And one last thing, life is short. It's really short. So giggle just a little. Before we go, I gotta ask, giggle with me. Princess Giggle Bottom here, saying thank you so much for your support. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next week. Mwah!